Man,
I
I
did
don't
like a whole
remember.
video on him.
I have to go back and look. I have to go back and look. It's still in the mod
Oh,
now.
but yeah, but it started like a whole, well, it didn't start a trend, but it got me noticing a trend where for some reason, I don't know what it is, but it's always 24 months that a guy will come in and it's like, yeah, I've done all the stuff. I'm doing the workout, like all the, what do they call them? Passive dread parts, remember?
Yep.
And then they get to the 2 year mark where they're finally like, okay, wife, now where's the blowjobs? And she's like, I don't like you. And then they finally start coming back hat in hand with like, I'm red pilled, aware, guys. By the way, what's a shit test? And you're like, oh, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah, no, that's I hate that the worst. Oh, I've been reading it for 6 months. So okay, what the hell does that mean? But it really goes down to I think so many guys in life, um, you, you have to build your life so that if 80% of it is good, then the
Right.
20% that rolls along that's shitty, you deal with it. I think we talk about having abundance and stuff like that, and I think so many of these guys that are really out there doing these validation seeking behaviors and that kind of shit is really they still haven't embraced abundance, and they still haven't said, like, oh, they go back and they say, I'm awesome, I'm in shape, and all right, honey, it's time to start blowing the old man. And then they're like, she doesn't. And they're like, oh, what the fuck did I do wrong?
Ooh. Another Death Row production. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Tyson.
Anyway, what's going on, babe? Yeah. So today's broadcast themes are the red pill was right and changed my mind. Why the red pill definitely is the best lessons for learning to spot red flags. That's the way I see it. And that's the way it is today, unless you can prove me wrong. What's going on? What's really going on? Let's boost this up a bit. Da-na-na-na. What up, David Little with the jam? Full moon in Taurus. All the Tauruses are looking good today. Get used to this vibe. Da-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na. All right. What's really going on? Okay, we got this now. We got this going on. Going on. There we go. Boom. Hello, everybody. So I'm gonna let you in on something that we're gonna get into something that a lot of people out there miss when they're talking about the red pill. First of all, the red pill was basically the first time that came into mainstream was the Matrix, right? You take the red pill, you see reality for what it really is, right? You take the blue pill, you see reality with an illusion over it, right? What most of us are born into, right? So everyone hears about the red pill, and they immediately think it's only about dating, and then it's about women. It's about toxic masculinity. But what people forget is that the core of the red pill is really about seeing reality clearly, without filters, without comfort, and without fantasy and illusion. And the most important thing is it's about spotting red flags, not just in relationships, but in everything. I'm sure everybody out there has stories about when they could have used the ability to spot red flags to get them out of situations, or not even in situations that cause them drama and strife. Now, one of the main lessons that made the red pill famous is that men and women are different, and not just physically, but psychologically, emotionally, and socially. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's reality. Prove me wrong, right? I think one of the main problems in society today, especially in Western cultures, is what a lot of red pill thinkers call gynocentrics. Gynocentric. Say it with me, gynocentric. And this means that the social system tends to favor women, comforts, and emotion and safety over men's struggles or even their accountability. And when you look around, you see it in schools. I see it. I teach in a school. You may have children in a school. You were in school at one time. You may be in school right now. But when you look around, even in the schools, in the workplace, and even in the media, you'll see stories about empowering women, which is great. However, there's very few about empowering men to build like inner strength and discipline and identity, you know? And when a man talks about his pain, people tell him to man up, right? As they should, kind of. But that's what you get mostly when somebody's talking about their struggles, a man. When a woman talks about her pain, she's usually supported and validated and encouraged. And the red pill came along and said, wait a minute, men, wake up, man. You're not crazy. The system necessarily isn't built with you in mind. And you're going to have to take responsibility for your own power. And once you start seeing that, you start noticing red flags everywhere. And you start noticing how certain narratives in the media are designed to emotionally manipulate you. And Shift can tell you, Nanos can tell you right there that you start seeing even financial traps and consumerism, instant gratification, debt culture. Shadow Buddha, I know all about that. And it's all marketed towards keeping you weak and distracted because your awareness is the most important and priceless ability you have as a human being. And when you start seeing the red flags, you start seeing how even in politics often plays on emotional division between men and women and between the classes, between the ideologies to keep people from working together. Even today with the mayor of New York, the new young mayor got sworn in and the White House is already causing divisiveness over that. It's wild, man. And so that same awareness that helps a man see that maybe she's not into me, she's just likes the attention, is the same awareness that helps him see maybe this politician doesn't really care about me and they just want my emotional reaction. That's why I say the red pill isn't just about dating. It's about developing perception. It's definitely about building the ability to look at any situation, any relationship, any job you may have, any news headlines, and ask a simple question: who benefits from me believing this? And is this based in reality even, or is this just emotional manipulation? Am I making a choice here, or am I just reacting? Because that's the real power right there. You know, how you react and how people can make you react if you're not in control of your emotions. So what's up, Shadow Buddha in the building? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you, man. All right. Yeah. So the red pill was right. Changed my mind. Right? And yes, the truth can sting. And sometimes you can find out that the world isn't as fair as you thought it was. And that people don't love as purely as you imagined. And that comfort is often used as a form of control, lull you to sleep. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. And that's the point. It cracks your head open. And the red pill at its best isn't necessarily about just hating women or society. It's about learning to see through illusions, Neptune, Pisces, and spot patterns, Virgo, and that from clarity instead of just your emotions. Because clarity is where you're going to find opportunities for gains and upgrades. And that's what makes it so powerful. Once you get good at spotting red flags and stop being the victim, you start being the observer. Do you guys think that society really is gynocentric, or is that just a perception? I'm curious. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Let's see what these men have to say. Let's see.
Off the table based upon my standard. You aren't going to get hold of this dick if you ain't being the woman I need you to be. You need to realize that you need to cook, clean. You got to understand that you're not the only woman. And if you can accept that, that's fine. That's just the beginning, because you got to work hard for me, because I work hard for me. So that means if you get with me, it's not going to be easy street, because I need to be satisfied, because there ain't no happy wife, happy life bullshit. It's happy Steve, happy Steve.
Being strong with self, understanding who you are, that is the biggest defense to bitch ass weak men.
And there's no excuses for the men not to be strong. But see, there's so many forces. And then some
Being secure you are. That's the biggest defense from bitch ass weak men. And basically unbalanced females too.
many men are embracing weakness.
I can't stand weak men. Like, I don't like to talk to them. It's hard for me to talk to these losers. I've always been a winner at the winner's table.
You know, I believe
I feel you on that. It is hard to relate to weak people. I get it. We have empathy for people who are, trying to do better, but when you embrace the weakness and to stay there constantly, that's some bitch shit.
it's a sin to impregnate a woman who can't raise a child, or impregnate a woman who's not fit to be a mother. And I think we have a responsibility in what we see today in these weak ass little feminine boys.
I can't tell another man what to do, but I can't dress feminine. I can't wear nail polish. It's just something that I can't do. Why? Because if I'm walking down the street and somebody's having trouble with a flat tire, I want them to feel that they can come to me and ask me, hey man, could you help me out with this? Because those are the type of things that a man will help out with. So I need to look like a man so they can know where to come for help.
Yeah, it is such a thing as toxic
Man, shout out to Boss Man from Oakland right there, bro. He about to chop it up.
masculinity in the minds of bitch ass motherfuckers.
Talk about masculinity, assertiveness, authenticity, transparency. How can a guy who's straight up and honest with what he does be toxic?
If the media can train you to think something bad about it, you hear the word and you want to instantly have a certain reaction. You stop thinking, you start feeling. And when people learn to think and feel and not think through their feelings, that's when they can evaluate a person holistically. And they can say, is this toxic masculinity, or did I just hear something I didn't like? And why did I not like it? And only let me go within myself.
You have to figure it out. Yeah, here we go, man. Like, so, yeah, a lot of people, when they hear the red pill, they automatically they think they think that it's a bunch of angry guys ranting about women online. However, at its core, and we're talking about at its core, the red pill isn't supposed to be hate. It's supposed to give you awareness, man. How many of y'all seen the movie Matrix? He took the red pill, man. Everyone wanted to take the red pill. What the fuck? You guys forget about this? It's just the pushback on it when you overlay it on male-female sexual dynamics or relationships. It just shows you the reaction against it. Shows you how embedded and powerful the opposition to you waking up, male and female, especially male, to the male-female sexual dynamics. There's a big opposition from the system, the beast system, from that. Because the idea that men and women are different, not better or worse, is a fact. They're just different. And the biggest gift of the real red pill awareness is learning to spot red flags, not only in dating, but in society, and most importantly, in yourself. Because once you see through the illusions, Pisces, Neptune, you start getting played by people and by the systems and by propaganda. Now, one of the red pill's key claims is that society is gynocentric, like we just mentioned, meaning it's designed to prioritize women's emotions and safety and comfort over men's experiences or struggles. And I asked you guys, do you see that, or is that just an illusion? And you can see that in high schools, especially that schools discipline boys more harshly, and how the media rarely talks about male health, mental health, in specifically, or how dating apps give women the power of selection while most men are competing to be noticed and acknowledged and be visible. The real red pill, the core red pill, the red pill we're talking about today, says instead of complaining, just level up and get some gains. Understand the system and don't hate on it, and play it smarter, because your awareness is armor. And when you start noticing red flags, it changes how you see everything. Your relationships, the way you look at media, and even your money and finances. And you start to see when someone's manipulating your emotions to control your choices is a solution. And that what red pill means is not hate, but vision. You know? Vision. Visionaries, bruh. Be gremlin. What y'all think? Do you really think that? For you in the chat, what's the biggest red flag you learn since you've become more aware in life about how things are laid out? What's the biggest red flag? Do you think red pill awareness in general, we're talking anywhere from Neo and your knowledge of self to male-female sexual dynamics to finances, when we say red pill, do you think that the red pill awareness actually makes you more compassionate because you start to understand people's motives better? What do you think? I'm curious. I'm curious what these women think too. You know? I'm curious what the women think. They probably got a lot to say. I think this dude is talking about it.
I cannot date a man that likes red pill content, because red pill content is ruining.
She said she can't date a man that likes red pill content.
The lives of
What's up,
young
Dom?
men. A lot of men are so afraid of being labeled a simp. They don't want to be labeled a simp, that they will not treat a woman well. They won't even compliment a woman. They won't even be nice to a woman because they are so afraid of being a simp. The last guy that I talked to was an avid red pill watcher, and he was the same man that friend zoned me and wanted me to chase him, and and I was wondering, I'm like, where is this jadedness coming from?
Wait, where's the jadedness coming from, huh? Okay, I'll give you that. There's definitely truth in some of the stuff she's saying. But a lot of men are waking up to things women have kind of known intuitively. And because women learn early how to read emotional cues, right? even social cues and power dynamics because they have to for safety and survival. So I actually think that the red pill teaches men something women have intuitively known for generations. They just know how to pay attention to patterns, man. They definitely know. Is that the right color pill not to get pregnant? To indoctrination? Yes, because you're not trying to be you're awake, right? You're awake to all angles of what's going on, or more angles at least. Impregnate your mind with the seed of indoctrination. Combat it with the red pill, right? So you can see it and root it out, or not even let it impregnate and bed into your psyche, right? But I have to honestly, I think that where some red pill guys go wrong is thinking every dynamic is stacked against men. Sometimes what they call a gynocentric system is just the result of different priorities, you know, because like women's social power is often emotional, not institutional. And women can definitely influence, but they don't seem to necessarily control as much as men in general. So yeah, the world supports women in some ways, but I can see how women would think that it still puts massive pressure on them to perform and look perfect and then balance probably impossible standards that are hard to live up to, right? Like, it's natural. And Dom says it's natural progression of man to understand social dynamics. However, some excel and the majority learn the hard way later on. Yeah, when you put yourself in these situations in relationships, you learn quick. And Shift says the biggest flaw in the red pill is blaming 24/7 on feminism. Feminism was created by corporations to destroy the nuclear family. It's a nasty social engineering. Yeah, it's nasty work. That's why women, I would say, a lot of them think that the world supports. They can see how women support them in many ways, right? So, men and women going at this red pill, thing. I think both sides as reacting to the same imbalance, just from different ends of the seesaw. Yeah, let's blame cats for biting. Well, shit. That's why I don't have cats.
So wait a minute, because the guy got standards and made something.
Keeping you single. It's keeping you men single. It is keeping you single. Half of
I don't believe so.
the men that make this content are single men or men that do not have a happy, healthy relationship.
It's not true. There's a lot of people, like we were playing in the beginning. Ryan Stone, he's been married for like 10 years. He has a balanced take on male-female dynamics and long-term relationships. Most of the red pill things most of y'all here probably is from like the dating coaches and whatnot, trying to get the one-night stands. But when you have one-night stands a lot, if you're single, I see it as like, I mean, you take on these casual partners and you may knock down like 10 women in 1 month, but however, it's like, it's definitely, you definitely start to look at yourself as a casual person or a casual partner, not serious, if you're having that much casual sex. And this is a lot of times the red pill can be used to see the power dynamics in someone whose top priority is to bed women. They could use it on a woman that's not very aware or doesn't have defenses up, or just wants to, who just wants to have sex a lot. And However, there are at the core, the red pill is there for anyone, married, single, or not, male, female. Yeah, because it's teaching you how to spot red flags, and then you can act accordingly after. And the whole thing about that, that seesaw, how I think men and women are in their own way reacting to the same imbalance. It's just like from the different ends of the seesaw, right? Different ends of imbalance. And I think that's a good metaphor to use. So maybe red pill awareness is less about choosing sides and more about seeing patterns clearly, pattern recognition in both genders. Because once you can see what motivates people, you can see how men are chasing status, women are chasing security, and society is chasing control of your mind, right? You stop being emotional about it and start using your logical brain. You stop saying things like, why are women like this? Or why are men like that? I hear that one from women. And instead, hopefully you can start asking, okay, this is how people move. Now, how do I move smarter? And that's where the self-improvement comes in. And that's the real red pill, which is using an awareness to evolve and not just complain about things. Yeah. Tom says, I say the red pill should embrace the darker aspects of communication, manipulation, brainwashing as a tool either for offense, but the advanced use it to defense and detect red flags early. Wow. That's very dark triad and good. It's like the dark arts in Harry Potter. Red and blue pills like 0 and 1s and blacks and whites. Give them only 2 choices. Watch them force tones. Yeah, and about give a donation, especially if you've never given a donation. We appreciate the donations. We love.
I mean, when it comes to business and anything that's successful, a friend of mine the other day told me, he said, I don't know what it was, but someone was around and said, yeah, because money can't buy happiness. And he turned around and he said, no, money does buy happiness. You just got to give it away. That made all the sense in the world to me because it's the truth.
Nah, bro, you heard me. Donations, bruh. Donations. Money is always nice. Yeah, think about this. Like I asked, nobody said anything when I asked this question. Do you think the world's really gynocentric, meaning female-centric? Or does each gender just have a different type of power? What do y'all think? What do you think? What's really going on? Come on, man. Let's talk about it. Think about it. Play some music. Yeah, it's funny. Think about it.
Who am I? What are my strengths and my weaknesses? When would the seat be obsolete and all my people live? Where does whatever God you call upon reside at? Why do this kick coincide with the hi-hat? How do the disenfranchised get their lives back? Who is hacking when them knives stab our back? What it is, what it was, what it looked like. When will we see the inefficiency of hood life? Where is heaven, where is hell, where are you now? Why would you slumber on this wondrous new sound? How are you and how your folks doing? Who is viewing through the inner eye and viewing truth in place of ruin? What is you doing, dude? When is enough enough? Where is the sense in that? Why is you stuck like junk? How do you transcend smoother than a lamb's skin? Who is the being in that so-called man's skin? What define a man's kin? What do family mean? When's a house not a home? Where can man lean? Why you think they took the time to mix up the scripture? How you hold the missing puzzle piece peace, but miss the bigger picture. Who you calling nigga? What do you think I am? When will my blood be avenged? Where's my land? Why can't you understand? How can I make it plain? So many questions in life, the answers say the same. Who am I? What are my strengths and my weaknesses? When would the seat be obsolete and all my people live? Where does whatever God you call upon reside at? Why do this kick coincide with the hi-hat? How did the disenfranchised get their lives back? Who will realize that these rhymes is a mind hack? What if everything you thought you knew was a lie? When do the truth apply? Where is your spook in the sky while I'm fly? How I got juice like GQ on the roof? Who should you throw the juices to and put that snake underfoot? Ask yourself what really matters. When's it time to mind? Where in life do ego shadow? Why you fighting blind? How you forever line stepping yet you soft when you cross it? Who's adept enough to earn a degree? Learning from losses. What kind of boss ain't got an office when they walk it like they talk it? Where's the cake at and why your repertoire all frosting? How you gain the will to tame the body and brain? Who understands your pain? What do you do to maintain, man? Where is your head at? Why is it stuck there? How do my rhyme book cook but the cuts red? Who is truly showing and proving? What's the mathematics? When's the world end? Where you get them bad habits? How do I make an intercession free you from the flame? So many questions in life, the answers stay the same. Who am I? What are my strengths and my weaknesses? When will the seat be obsolete and all my people live? Where does whatever God you call upon reside at? Why do this kick coincide with the hi-hat? How did the disenfranchised get their lives back? Who is the people pimping, profiting from crime raps? What's the point of that illiterate auto-tune gibberish? When will we throw up a fist because we sick of it? Where is the love? Why you do me like that? How do I come up with these mind business cinema tracks? How do I come up with these mind business cinema tracks? What? When? Where? Why? In this journey of the journalist, am I eternal? Am I eternal? Am I eternal? Am I eternal?
That was great. Shout out to Ben Real. Yeah. Introspective hip hop. High powered. Yeah, this is red flags, man. Women need to are on the red flags. They see the red flags. How many of y'all were with your girlfriend, man? And she was like, I'm just gonna get, have some drinks with my male my male whatchamacallit, co-worker. What are you talking about? Hold on there. Hold on, we got somebody. Oh, I thought that was my friend in the back looking at the thing. I got excited. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, how many of y'all would be okay with your girlfriend or your wife having drinks with a co-worker? It's crazy, especially if you already picked up on these other. Let me get this out. Especially if you picked up on these other red flags already. Let's see. What would you do, chat? What would you do, Shift? Come up here, Shift, if you're willing. All right, we can watch this with Dom. What's going on, Dom? Dominico, how's it going?
I'm chilling with you tonight, Gabe.
I'm chilling. I'm just looking at these interesting, taking this take on the red pill. Because I remember the first time I heard it was in 1999 when The Matrix came out. What's up, Vengeful Truther? Good to have you, brother. Yeah. And, it's just another metaphor, a good metaphor for waking up to more of what's actually the reality of what's going on. And then it was like, maybe fast forward like 12 years later, I started hearing it used for male-female social dynamics more than anything, so. But in the end, I think they're talking about the same thing, just being aware of traps and what may be going on. I don't know. When's the first time you heard that red pill? That metaphor, red pill?
Red pill, blue pill? I think it was Matrix.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they could be
Do you-
related to the chakras.
Okay. How so?
Well, red is usually the lower desire, red, like the color red. So most people are led by their heart or the blood that goes to it.
So I would think, according to the metaphor red pill and what's really going on in the sense red pill, blue pill, most people are blue pill if we're using the metaphor. And if you use that overlaying with the chakra resonator stuff, how would you describe being blue pill?
This is a higher chakra. It's a combination of green and yellow. But again, it's not really, when people are talking about chakras, you're not talking about them. You're talking about you. It's always about you. Making comparisons, we're both in a male form. We probably have more indifferences than we would if we're going to start speculating about women. That's usually cult behavior. When people start getting into us men against you women, that's cult behavior. Because even the guys among yourselves don't think the same.
Yeah, that's a bad thing when that's why I said it's like the real red pill is not blaming women, blaming or complaining about women. What's up, Shift? How's it going?
My nigga.
What up, Shift? How you going, bro?
I'm chilling,
What
man.
you got?
Just had a nice workout in the morning, and red pill is just a natural progression. And in a way, it's actually kind of like if you do it early, if you start it early, it is going to be painful because it's kind of like you're going out in the real world, right? And you're kind of forced to grow in a way, and you have to overcome your shortcomings, whether it's talking to other people, being more confident with yourself, whether it's building up your body and your finances. And when you're young, you have all that time to figure it out. Like, what do you truly want? So it's a natural progression. I think instead of like the blue pill, like, you're stuck at home, and if you have two loving parents, that's great, but some people don't. But it's as you're stepping out into that box and then that element. And some people, I say after a while, it's either one or two things, right? Either they grow up and they find someone, find significant other, and then they evolve basically into being the leader of the family, or they go through they find someone, they go through some hard struggles, or they never went through the red pill. I think that's actually a disadvantage because it's kind of naive. Unfortunately, that's the way I see it. You have to understand, sometimes people aren't what they seem to be, and then you figure out later, and then that's when you get screwed the most. So I always been the one to always be over prepared and understand psychology. And the red pill, the basic red pill, it teaches you some basic psychology, of looks, money, and status, improving yourself. Some never get out of it because eventually, after a certain amount of time, there is I guess, like, you could always like psych yourself up, like I'm gonna get as much money as possible. But then after a while, you realize, like, wait a minute, like, I got this much money, but it's not making me happy. I have this status, but I hate these people. And, I have these women, but they don't make me happy. So you see what I'm saying? The red pill could end up an ever-consuming type of thing if you're not too careful, right? It should be used as a tool.
Yeah, like a pill. Like a pill. You don't take pills all the time. Only when you need a boost or to help you through a sickness or something. I have to say too, it is a good point where you said about if you can experience the red pill early on, which is like knowing the red flags and seeing reality a little bit more what it is. You won't put yourself and get enmeshed and entangled with a woman, for example, and that wasn't right for you. And then if you don't know it, you can be in too deep, and trying to untangle could be a very difficult and just wasteful fucking process of trying to get untangled. Yeah, I discovered the red pill fucking late, man.
Oh, like
it's already married and whatnot.
To be honest, I knew it back around because I read The Game in high school around 2007, so I was aware of that universe, but I didn't. It was just like The Game, like pickup artistry, and then 2011. 2012, that's when I really started going out, but I didn't label myself red pill. I just went on those forums like the Return of the Kings, and they were all talking about like, oh, this is what I did to talk to this woman, this is how you do A, B, and C, and then you try it, and then it's like it's quite of an experience. It's kind of funny, it's also kind of brutal, but in a way it hardens you. Like it hardens you in a good way. It's like, whoa, because like for some guys, like I consider myself a normal guy in terms of looks or whatever. I never used that as a deterrent, but you're gonna get some rejections, but then it kind of just prepares you. It's like, you know what? Who cares after a while? Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Okay, it didn't work out. Don't think about it too much, But if you never did anything, then you'll never even get success.
You gotta start. People like the black pillars, they'll say, and black pill is like an extreme version of the red pill. The black pillars will say like it's over if you don't have genetics or money or status. It's over, right? But how can they say it's over when they never even got in the game yet? And look at this lady right here. Speaking of red flags, this woman picked up on red flags like a G. Listen to this shit. I saw this morning and I was like, wow. It's like, wow, bro. Look at what the hell. I think she's onto something. What do you guys think? Dom, I like the red pill cat. Or you have
My husband is getting drinks with a female coworker tonight, and I actually feel like I'm gonna go insane. Him and I have been together for 6 years, and we have children together.
So they're mesh. They're entangled together already, right? 6 years.
So we are in the process of looking for a new home together, and he was showing me a house on his phone a couple of nights ago, and while he's showing me, I see a text message come across the top of his phone from a female's name that I did not recognize. So he didn't have his text previews turned on, which I noticed, but like I've never like gone through his phone or anything, so I really thought it was suspicious. I'm not the kind of girl to go through his phone because he's really never given me a reason to not trust him. So of course I asked him who it was, and he said, oh, that's JT, my coworker.
JT?
Excuse me? This whole time I thought JT was a man. So I immediately put two and two together and realized that this is the JT he's been telling me he's been going to lunch with multiple times a week.
It was like he said JT. He didn't say like Jessica, whatever the girl's name. That's pretty slick, huh?
Yeah. He's trying to play the mistress as on the side and shit.
Just a friend.
Yeah.
So come to find out, JT is short for Jessica, and I will not say her last name, but obviously it starts with a T. So they actually don't work for the same company. So like the companies that they work for are like partners with each other. So all these thoughts start coming back to me, and I remember him mentioning to me that he was trying to get on JT's good side because it was good for his company, and it opened up like a bunch of opportunities for him. So I did next what.
It's okay. It's like having a friendly, I don't know, business lunch or something there.
Any woman who would be suspicious about this, I looked her up, and tell me why she was stunning. So of course I start thinking about all the worst case scenarios. I ended up doing something I was not proud of, but last night I went through his phone while he was giving our son a bath, and specifically the messages between him and JT.
To be honest, dude, I ain't mad at her. I mean, I would have been mad in the sense that like, even if I was in the wrong, I'd be like, fuck, don't touch my shit. But you can understand where she's coming from, right?
I mean, I feel kind of bad for her,
I know.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Yeah. I think if it was in the other situation, some men would have done the same thing, gone through her shit. Even if they don't normally do that. Yeah. But there are a lot of quote unquote blue pill people there's all kinds of people that would be like, no, I don't care. I would never want to look. Come on, bro. What do you think about that shit?
I think that's completely
dangerous, right?
It's naive and stupid.
Yeah.
Right. It's like I rather like cut the bandage off, bleed, feel the pain, and then that way once the emotional pain is gone, then you can think cold, hard, ruthless.
Yes, sir. Yeah. It's gonna hurt, but it's for the good, for the greater good.
Yep.
So his company has monthly dinner, like company dinners with his company and the partnering company that she works for. I saw a text from him asking her if she got home okay from the last company dinner, which was last week. And also saying how beautiful she looked and how he wished he could have spoken to her more.
It would be weird, huh? If you're going on, your business meeting, and even if you're kind of cool, like, hey, did you get home okay?
This is like if you got a long like a marriage and stuff. That's where I
Not
just feel
appropriate.
like, yeah, it's just not appropriate, and it's actually the thing is the guy's a coward. He's a coward. If he's not happy, right, then you should just say it, it, and move on, right? It's only fair to her. Right?
Would you say is he not truly happy, Dominic? If he says, or could he just be greedy? But if he's greedy, he's not truly happy.
Yeah.
What do you think? Yeah.
Well, we're only hearing from her side.
And that's true, huh?
To me, if you're a very secure person, you're going to attract the same thing. She's revealing she's insecure. And she's probably attracting that, and then she's just projecting outwards, which, hey, he still has to be accountable for himself. But the thing is, if you're secure, why should you limit yourself? If a person wants to hang out with somebody that happens to be a beautiful person, so be it. But most people don't realize in those situations, you're going to find out in a short period of time how insecure you are.
Yeah.
And then bitching and complaining about, well, my husband's doing this and that. I said, why? So did you marry me for some sort of commitment or something? Why don't you just knock me up then? That's insecure men talking, and women.
Yeah, I think she does have kids, because she mentioned that she looked through his phone when he was giving their baby a bath.
There you go. Looking through his phone. There you go. What is she, a prosecutor now?
Yeah. To be honest, I think she's in her mode. She's not crazy for doing that, because she don't want nobody to cheat on her, bro. Like,
but again, if you're secure, you know what I mean? It's, you have to realize that that's part of human behaviors. Now, I'm not saying that she should be looking for that, but at the same time, it could be many reasons. If, let's say, hypothetically, he cheats, but if she's already set herself up, that what happened if he turns around and says, I'm just talking to her, so now I can't even hang out with my friends, regardless if it's a guy. You know what I mean? Again, it gives a human being a chance to grow up. A lot of people are adults, but they're actually still children.
Yeah. Well, I guess I can see how on the upper level, looking down on people, how one could say that they're a child for not wanting their spouse to hang out with the opposite sex socially. Yeah. However, as someone who's married, like, I wouldn't want that, man. I wouldn't want that.
You wouldn't want that. Okay, that's great. Okay, but at that point, what happened if the person in your life, whether it's your wife or your kids, they're okay with that?
If they're okay with it, then they can know how I'm not okay, and I don't want to be with somebody who's doing those type of things, and they can make their own choice if they want to be with me after that.
Yeah, good enough. And as long as you can stand behind that, this is where people have a false sense of control on each other. By the way, the red and blue pill is no different than the glass half full, half empty. It's limiting people. The fact that you should throw pills away, don't worry about swallowing any kind of pill.
Yeah. This is why in Islam, actually, a man cannot be alone with a woman if she's not your wife or your family member, basically. And it's reasons why, because you just never know, bad shit can happen. I mean, someone has more attraction than the other. You could develop feelings for that person. You could do things at the heat of the moment. Same with the women, like, she can't be with another guy. And to me, it's perfect. Like, I don't I don't have any female friends, none, like absolutely none, because to me, it's just like,
Right.
Sometimes your male instinct is, you could put yourself in a bad situation. Now, no, sure, at work I work with female colleagues, right? But I keep it strictly professional, extremely professional. No flirting, no nothing. It's just like, there's no dinners, there's no hanging out. I'm there to clock in, clock out. I'm courteous, I'm kind, I'm out of here, That way you're not put in these situations.
But they're taught at a young age to have a chauffeur around them when they're 13 years old, so they understand how the energies of sex and all that is. But at the same time, who makes the Islamic laws? Probably more men. And at the same time, when they make laws such as, well, if a woman gets raped, you need 4 witnesses. Again, you can almost bastardize any policies. So in this particular case, who are the women actually participating in these laws? So what, we got to wear this thing over our face, but you men don't have to?
Well, it is what it is, It's
human
I'm
behavior.
the guy it's just human behavior. I mean, at the end of the day, it's it's religion, and it gets a little touchy, but I think there's some aspects of religion where it could fix certain issues like this where
but is it religion or is it human behavior? Because state have just as wacky policies. So, because you were talking about Islamic, that's about state. That's not about religion. Muslim is the religion. Islamic is state.
No, Islam is the religion. Muslim is basically you're following the religion.
Okay, well, you understand.
And then Sharia law is basically a set of rules.
Yeah,
it's
state.
also the way we practice the religion, But I find it comforting. It is what it is.
Well, at one time they used to pray to Petra, not Mecca. So again, that tells you how humans could easily be conditioned. Again, this is all about human conditioning, and a lot of people hide behind their personality. Once you become aware of that, then you can understand how they actually condition people with these analogies like red pill, blue pill, zeros and ones, black and white. Human being goes around calling each other black and white when it clearly shows you don't have skins that are black or white. That's actually a cheap shot on humans. Now, you could be dark skinned and light skinned. You could be European, get a nice tan. You could be more dark skinned than a Barbados guy is. But as long as people keep on saying black and white, whoever's conditioning the human race is kind of giggling a little bit.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean,
that's why some of us say original people. We're talking about what you would call black people. This is what Bongs and stuff says. He says, "Who cares if you're insecure as a bowling?"
Bowling? What's a bowling?
I don't know, but he's right. The first part I understand. Who cares if you're insecure? Right. What you want to call insecure, whatever. I'm not letting any predators come into my house or around, my wife if I don't have to, you know what I mean? Yeah.
And then the next messages I see is him asking her.
What's that?
I was going to say, but then are we talking a fine line of, do we treat the opposite gender as property then?
Sometimes, I guess. I mean, if you want to call it that, but I don't really see it like that. And to be honest, I think at least there's a lot of women that actually like that. The fact that their man cares enough for them, wants to protect them and their family to not put them in situations that would jeopardize that wonderful thing they have.
I definitely. I mean, it's like there can only be like one top dog, right? And it might as well be the man. But it doesn't make the woman subhuman or property. No. Yeah, no, definitely not.
I mean, that's why I said, but like people can say what they could say that, but I don't see it as property. Property is like a fucking
well, I'm just saying it's a
slave or something like that. That's not going on there.
Well, see, that's the fine line now. So now, in a lot of cultures, publicly the man is actually the head of the household, but privately the woman actually is.
Well, yeah, I mean, the woman, if she's playing her natural role, she's like the greatest advisor from the man.
That's right.
Which in a lot of ways can be seen as the hidden hand behind the,
a great supporter.
Most Western women in particular, they don't even want that. They want to be the loudmouth, trying to not save face and all that shit. So
That's when you're attuned to your energy. So this is where the feminine energy actually guides the masculine energy, or the negative energy actually upholds the positive energy. Again, a lot of people don't grasp that. They just think it's male and female. It's always fun when somebody says, I just want to be positive. I said, sure, you want to be underneath the bridge snorting your crack cocaine of happiness? You also have to have other different types of emotions. So in this particular case, when somebody says they're positive, I said, so how does a car work? You need negative and positive, and you need to be grounded.
yeah, I think when people do say stuff like that too, it's not necessarily they're completely ignorant or say black and white. It's because they're using the words we use colloquially every day.
True, but if you're reading,
even though some of us know that that's not the case, it's just, they're not being right and exact with their speech.
I get what you're saying, but once you start reading people's energy, you'll realize they're saying one thing, but they're doing something else. Remember, English is a meaningful language. It's not like a healing language like Sanskrit or comprehension language. Sure. So once you realize that, like if most of us were communicating with each other face to face, body language would be quite easy.
Yeah,
you would see people uncomfortable. People would be uncomfortable.
That's why for sure why Shift and I, because I know Shift a long time now. Like our language is pretty right and exact. However, we both know that it's that actions speak louder than words, right, Shift?
I've heard that before. How can you verify that? Actions are louder than words. Really think about that. That's something.
Well, I prioritize actions over words.
Action will reveal. Action could reveal things, but action isn't stronger than words.
I mean, it's a fucking whatchamacallit. It's a figure of speech, but it is important.
I get it, Gabe. But if you're actually listening from within, you'll actually catch yourself in thoughts before you start speaking. That's energetically. That's why when people go into silent, they're actually listening. But what we're doing is called afterthoughts. So you're revealing yourself that there's certain things you're sharing, you're knowledgeable about it, but you don't have discernment why you're saying those things.
Let's see.
Her if she wanted to get drinks with him one night by themselves. So I keep scrolling a little further, of course, and I see a message that she had sent him and said, thank you for the ride home, with a little heart emoji. So of course I think, okay, he has driven her home from one of these company dinners.
Yeah, this is going bad. And to be honest with you, it might have started off innocent. It might have started off with him genuinely wanting to get in good so that he can ensure that his company is still doing business with their company. And we all know that the best way for you to do business with somebody is if they like you, not necessarily if you're pushing the best product, which it helps if you push the best product. But when it goes beyond a certain point, because you can still be professional and still be outside of work hours, but when it starts to go beyond this point, your intuition more than likely is not off.
My husband is getting drinks with a female coworker tonight, and
I wonder what happened with her situation.
But you know what? It's one other solution. It's kind of like the Mike Pence solution. Bring your wife to every board meeting. Whenever there's the opposite sex, right? I mean, it's effective.
Yeah. I mean, if she wants to do that, yeah. I guess it is, huh? It's like Doug Christie. His remember his situation, Doug Christie?
Oh, you mean the New Jersey governor? Yeah.
No. He's a basketball player. He would bring his, because the NBA is notorious for the players to cheat on their wives.
Yes.
When they're away. So he would do this.
Doug Christie, who's married to Jackie Christie. They got married in 1996. And they renew their vows every single year. One year, they wore hard hats in the middle of their house construction. Another year, they wore army fatigue to represent the battle that their marriage faced. This is an annual affair. Doug is a retired NBA player, and I think he's the assistant coach for the Sacramento Kings. You can see Jackie on the show Basketball Wives. During the season, you'd often see him making this sign. Every single game, without fail, an average of 50 times a game. It's a signal to Jackie saying, I love you, I'm thinking about you. He did this so often that some fans would bet. Like, I think one time he did it 62 times. Back in the day, the New York Times interviewed them, and they talked about their marriage, and Doug said he doesn't look at women, he doesn't talk to women, he won't be interviewed by women or stand in the same room as another woman unless she approves. And on the show Basketball Wives, Jackie has said that she will give him a sniff test down there, just to be sure. If you know what I mean. They have 3 children, one from a previous relationship that Jackie had. I say do whatever you need to do to be secure in your marriage. But to me, it's a little bit weird.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
I
And I think
mean,
she used to travel with him on the away games, which is
it's
rare.
it's kind of hard to dig on successful marriage, and in some aspects, that she goes crazy, get crazy jealous like that. That's actually kind of, in a way, she's like really have the hots for him still after all
Mhm.
these years. So it's like a kudos. I mean,
Yeah.
but in a way, it's also like a form of respect. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, and
Mhm.
also protecting your honor.
Yeah.
Protecting her honor. So I don't see it as a bad thing.
No. And then she said that she had a previous child or a previous relationship. Some of the red, I say cult members, they would talk shit to Doug Christie about that. Like, oh, why would you want to be with somebody that has a kid? And because they consider that a red flag. Because one, they would say a lot of times they would say she's gonna put that child over you. Her
Mhm.
attention, and which as a mom, that's what happens anyway. A lot of times,
Mm-hmm.
no matter if it's hers or yours or both of yours, the children get the priority. But look in the Bible, for example. Everyone wants to talk about the Bible. So many men have picked up women that were widows and whatnot, and married them and took on their children and whatnot. So I think there's
Yeah,
nuances to all these things. You can learn a lot from blue pill, red pill, black pill. I'll be stuck in those modes.
I think it depends on the individual, and if they have like that insane attraction to that person and she just has a kid, it's just, I mean, I don't know. Like I didn't make that decision, but I could, I could sort of understand. It's like, look, he really likes this person, really wants to spend the rest of his life with her. I don't see an issue with that. You just make more kids, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So when somebody's insecure, what are they actually trying to protect?
Insecure, they're trying to protect.
The same thing when people basically abuse things and then they have to go to recovery. There's a reason why we use the word recovery. What is it? If I could share it, but I just want to lead a little bit here.
It's more of like they're trying to protect their like fragile reality in a way, or ego. But
I got it too. Are you still going, Shift?
No,
But
go.
I would say I don't know what they're trying to protect, but whatever it is, it's probably not natural to them, because if you were whatever in your natural state you're supposed to be in, your consciousness, it doesn't need to be protected, I wouldn't think, because you're already there.
They're protecting something that's not fully developed yet. Their emotions.
Oh, okay.
Their emotions. That's usually between the age of 7 and 14 when you should be developing them. So when people are strong enough with their emotions, they're not going to be triggered either way. And how you know that? People will take a compliment, but they won't actually take when somebody rips a hole in them. That tells me that they're not developing. So how would anybody even get close to Christ consciousness if they don't have a developed emotion? So again, people are protecting their emotion because they don't want to get hurt. But inevitably, in what we call reality, in the objective realm, you are going to get hurt. You're going to learn from it. Now, if you think some piece of paper that state and religion correlate with each other is going to protect you from that, then you're naive.
No, we expect pain. It is what it is.
Well, I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you, but it takes a bunch of people to do that, and then you're in that energy. It'd be different if we were just by ourselves, but we're not. We're traveling among other beings,
seeking for many, many years, and having.
I don't know, for myself, I pray to God. It makes my life peaceful and blissful, And sure, it doesn't take away the pain of life, but you know what? It for me, it's just
nice.
I don't really, for me, I also believe in the notion no pain, no gain. In the story of my life is like I always had to overcome hardships. It's just who I am. It just makes me stronger. So
no pain, no gain, and there's the other part, the attachment part that most people struggle with. They become attached. That's where most suffering comes from. Attachments to comforts, pleasures, lust, You know, you name it, I've done it. You guys are probably still doing it. We're all doing it
yeah.
in some way or another. So then we at that point can be honest with each other to see if we stay true to each other. Forget about truth.
Well,
That's
okay,
just
being
what
honest, you said you guys were still doing. Are you
So
still
me.
doing it too?
Yeah, I'm in it. I'm that hypocrite
Yeah.
that's able to talk about it.
Oh yeah.
I'm okay with it. Don't Gabe, don't worry about it. Nobody's gonna throw me under the bus. I'm already driving that bus.
Okay, all right. What about nobody's driving it other than the Non-Duality Act? What the hell's driving it? Listen to this real quick.
So, but
shout out to Paul
the
Heidemann.
solution, the message of non-duality is before, but most people hear it after certain things happen. Yes. Yeah, like after seeking for many, many years and having a lot of experiences that something's not working and have gone through self-flagellation and I was listening to the wrong person, or I have to do it in another continent. It can't happen here. I got to go to India or whatever.
Yeah, because his story is like a lot of us. Like he was like a drug addict, alcoholic for many years, and he wanted to get outside of himself, as he said it. He wasn't comfortable or insecure with what he thought was himself. So he tried to escape with alcohol and drugs and dangerous situations. And then he cleaned himself up and got sober and found AA. And then he went just like his very dedicated activities to be escape reality with drugs and alcohol and dangerous situations. He took that desire and willpower and he channeled it into spirituality and going to all the different satsings, meditation places all over the world and different spiritual gurus and whatnot. Would you say that both those modalities are not conducive to a peaceful life? The extreme hurt or the extreme seeking spiritual stuff?
I think I think the point of it is like in life you can't really kind of control those aspects, right? You just have to experience it and then see what you're made of after, what you're going to do about it, how you're going to process it, how you're going to examine it, right? Because we as men, we're logical, although sometimes we behave irrationally depending on which circumstance. And when you have extreme, like kind of what Adamico said, extreme attachment, like you love somebody, but then they hurt you, they cheated on you. That's a lot of pain. And, that's grief, you're suffering. But then after that suffer, then it becomes anger. That's when you probably should cool it and relax before you wreck yourself. And then afterwards you could process it, And I think the biggest thing is sometimes you just have to experience it, even if it is painful. Just let it go. This is like, whether it's going for a run, whether it's like crying alone somewhere. I mean, which like the red pill says you can't, men don't cry. I mean, which is just when really could be very cathartic. And then whatever gets your mind clear, and then trust your gut instinct. What do you want to do? Right?
Yeah. What do you want to do?
You just said it there, Chef. A lot of guys, men, we'll just say men, they do lead with the upper brain, hence the logical part. But then you brought in the latter part here where you're talking about the gut brain. That's where intuition, insight comes. And that's actually the gut that actually communicates what's called the mind. Now, most people will interchange those words, but they're totally different. You got two brains, and you have a thing called the mind that you get to utilize. So the guys that are scholarly and scribes will use that upper brain. So that's where reason and logic is. But if they're ignoring that gut, now they're actually, what they've done, they've divided themselves. So, and to get into that gut, you have to get into your feminine energy. That's where wisdom lies, where a lot of guys will say, well, that's of no interest to me because you've been programmed. That's the masculine part, the programming part. You've been programmed from as a child to think that because you're a male, let alone a female, these are the roles you got to play. They're not questioning them. A lot of people don't question those things. So what they've done is they've done cult behavior, whether it's state, religion, science, biology. You should question those things. if you're truly going to stand where you are, hence the term understand. It's always fun when I hear people say they want to understand me. That's not your job. Your job is to understand yourself.
Yeah. It's like in a way, like it deals with like basically your like primal brain that we all have, and a lot of it is just like it's based on like what we did as tribesmen. When you get ostracized from the group or you felt betrayed, losing status, or feeling like a failure, you know, those type of things. It and also in some aspects like understanding how to, I guess in a way, always kind of manipulating kind of your brain chemicals like what is it, like dopamine, serotonin. You know, we went through this, blacks, Gabriel, like basically how those play into effect, right? With the dopamine and serotonin. When you lose status, you feel terrible and you can never get out of it, right? And that's where like most guys can enter into the, you know, the black pill perspective after they suffer a lot. But really, the way I view it is, you know, you should take your suffering kind of like you're overcoming something. It's kind of like you're the hero. You're the hero of your own story. How you gonna overcome that challenge, right?
Yeah.
And understanding your emotions is a huge thing, right? Because emotions, you could use, if you understand yourself and your emotions, you could tap into that emotion. Like for me, I'm doing a different workout, right? I am, instead of going a lot of sets, I'm doing low sets, but I have to train really, really hard. And I have to imagine myself being angry with rage. And for me, it's kind of hard now. You know, maybe 5 years ago, Gabriel, you remember, it was very easy for me to be rageful, right?
Right.
But now I can't, it's hard for me to, like, I have to listen to some music to pump me up. I can't even get into that state anymore. And in a way, it's actually a good thing because when you're chronically angry like that, it definitely wrecks your entire body. But it can also be used as a tool in order to get some results, if you know what I mean. So if you understand your emotions, then it's one step to mastery in a way.
Well, sometimes what you have to do is you got to sit in it. You know, the experiencer gets you so far, but then you have to be the observer, hence being in peace, silent. Once you're in silent, you could do a concept called meditation. You're listening. So now you're literally listening to what's called the ego, the vessel. It's going to communicate with you and say, listen, the shit that you do, you're playing way too many personas mask. This is why when people do a substance, let's say alcohol, the emotion attached to alcohol usually is anger. That's why it's called recovery. They'll deal with the drinking part, but they won't deal with the emotional part.
Mm-hmm.
Smoking is usually grieving. People that do things like marijuana, it's usually escapism, unless they understand energy. And then at that point, they could be doing it for healing purposes. And you got to make sure when you do your weed, most people forget that part. Well, I'm going to smoke my weed. I say, well, there's a reason why we have many days. You got to understand the lunar cycles. But again, that's why most people are still asleep. And there's a part of them that knows that, and they're pissed. Not the conscious part. The subconscious part is pissed at the conscious part.
Yeah. Just imagine
Lindsay,
if
says
you could tap into the subconscious, you know?
Yeah, Lindsay says you said, I mean, you mean red pill, no sex, no. Usually it means just be aware of red flags, seeing reality for what it is instead of being going into your conditioning that you had growing up in witnessing male-female sexual dynamics.
Yeah, it's like basically like you say you got a cut, right? You're in the ER and you have like a small cut and you get little stitches. That's basically the red pill. What D'Amico and us are talking, even Gabriel's talking, it's more of like you have a huge wound and we're going to do surgery, right? It's way deeper, and most red pill guys will probably say, "What the fuck is this?" Right?
Thought you were gay. Never heard that one before, Blind. This person, has been going, wow, this is some big milkers. A good one motorboats. The red pill was left. Okay. Troll.
Damn. Damn,
Yeah, we still have trolls and people in their 30s and stuff. Damn, that's crazy.
I think that it's rivaling Novastar. You know?
Yeah, shit. My wife can put those people to shame. But anyway, that's another story.
And maybe you've gone through all of these reactions to the failing of it. And then when you hear the message of non-duality, it's like you finally, all the while you've been looking for water, you were standing in an oasis already. Yeah. Now, and that contrast has some impact. Yeah. It has some impact. So the idea, you know, we have many ideas of success, but in a real, if you could combine, because you probably have a lot more failure than success.
True.
And if you could just gather that failure up and then not, especially in the spiritual seeking, and then have non-duality comb through it, you would come up with an incredible, huge amount of value in what you thought had no value. All the failures of arriving at your spiritual goal, or the, you know, the wet dream of spiritual seekers is to stabilize an experience. Yeah. How can I make how I'm feeling right now feel like that all the time? And so, in that case, the only way to succeed is failure. Yeah. Because the failure, finally, if you hear the message, it gives you a response to the failure that you could substitute the mental reaction to the failure. Yes? So maybe before you see the mental reaction to the failure, like it's my fault and this and that, the non-duality will get there first, and you'll see, wow, every time I failed to arrive was because I had never left. Yeah. That's an incredible message to finally have land.
Finally, yeah. Schiff, what is the Smash TV's new channel? Let's look at some examples of
at female game show.
At female game show.
Yeah. So this, guys, is not the red pill. It's basically a bunch of incels and black pillars. So the black pill,
not the guy, not Paul Tiedemann. Make sure the guy I'm showing that you're not talking about him.
No. That's actually a cool human being. Right? Yeah. And he's talking real shit. Like, how could you get to that state of like always feeling that way? And then it hit that state of like where you wake up in the morning and you're like excited to jump out of bed and stuff. Like, well, most people are just like dreading just to get up, right? Like, why am I getting up? Oh, I have to go to work again. Oh, it's already starting off in a already bad light compared to the person that's already excited to just to get up. That's the real question, you know? And he's right. Failure, like, got to figure out what you truly want in life. What gets you up in the morning? Answer that question first.
Do you think what gets these guys up in the morning? I mean, you may not know much about them, Dom, or me. I haven't seen these guys in a while. What can you deduce by listening to this for a couple of minutes? What are these guys' top priority is?
Harassing.
Can I make a comment on that, MD? Can I make a comment?
Over here, it's a state of delusion. Like Jermaine sees it clearly, where it's like, look, if you're working out, if it's a woman you don't like, even if it's a woman that you like, it's like, listen, I'm in the middle of something. Are you like, what's the problem? You know, you see me in the middle of a set, you know, and it just, I can understand, like, most of the time the girls, I don't see them doing that, but they might be like, hey, could you give me a hand with this? Or what's your, you know, you know, they have different ways, or coming close, or, you know, but this thing about just harassing.
Can I make a comment on that, MD? Can I make a comment on that? Because a lot of guys don't realize when you see a pretty girl in the gym, you made your approach because you're staring her down for who knows how long. You don't even realize you're staring her down, but she notices you're staring at her. She already knows you're interested. You've been staring straight at that girl for who knows how long. She knows you're looking at her. So you're making your approach. If she was interested, she would have let you know. She would have let you know.
Exactly. No, I agree. I agree with this. I've never approached a woman at the gym. I think it's very cringe. I think it's not the place to do it. And yeah, it's just, no, it's annoying.
Yo, is it just me? I've never even talked to a woman at the gym unless she worked there. I've talked to women that work there because they look cute and they work
but that's
there.
because
But
they like engaged. They're like, they wanted me to spot
Yeah.
or whatever. But that's different. Like, I'm not going to go out of my way. Can
but I
spot
wasn't.
you?
I didn't force it though. Like they had to talk to me because they were like, "Oh, you're a new member." They had to get like my
Damn, I can't listen to that. But I mean, I can, but I don't know. Don't stare at people. That's what they say.
Hilarious.
What does Grid Motorboat says? That guy needs to learn how to grow a beard. Which guy? I don't know what I'm talking about. What are you talking about? This Dom, he said it. Even though he's here, right here, should guys talk to women in a hostage taking or black robbery? That's a good question. Should guys? I mean, not if the hostage takers said no. Everyone shut the hell up. Then you shouldn't talk to her. Now, if your mouth isn't taped and you're alone in the vault, maybe you can talk. I don't know. What do you guys think?
This is I mean, you gotta have a stitch, man. It's like you know, you gotta be like, hey, we're having an exciting after party with all this money. Come join us or something.
All right, let's get more.
my initial thing. They're like, yeah, you just, they took my blood pressure. They did all this extra stuff. Whatever. I'm like, yeah, fine. This is great. But like, I wasn't like going out of my way to talk to random female employees that were minding their business. Like,
not even female employees.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you.
Because normally I worked out with a.
You did. You stared
That's
at the
the thing
pretty
about
girls.
it.
You
Yeah,
hit on
go-
them
oh,
already.
so I'm sorry, go
You
ahead.
already hit on them. No, by looking at the pretty girls, you already hit on every girl in the gym. Any pretty girl there, you hit on her, basically.
Oh, Mr. X.
You looked at
It's
her.
kinda like- and I understand what Mr. X is saying. It's kind of like the difference between assault and battery. If you walk up to somebody and you approach them trying to like flinch or whatever, that's considered assault, even though you didn't touch them. Battery is the crime of touching them. So
that, Minzy?
when they say assault and
Yes.
battery, it's you made threatening movements toward them, which is the assault. So the battery, like most of the time, we mistake.
I mean, but if you feel comfortable talking to it, if you really want to talk to someone and you're not creepy about it, and there seems to be opportunity to talk to someone, even if they are at the gym and they're not in the middle of their exercise, let's say they're transitioning to the next whatever.
Yeah.
Do you think that? I don't think there's anything wrong with talking to
Oh no,
a woman.
Especially in the morning, I'm like, I just basically say, "You done? Oh, you're not? Cool."
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. You know. They're acting like, oh, it's like it's like the club or something, or like, is this some weird shit? Like, oh, don't ever approach a woman ever. Like this horrible approach, man. It's just like fucking no confidence, no nothing. I mean, look, you have testosterone. I mean, it's better just to try and do it than to like say, like, oh, you dread every time you go there and you don't even have the balls to say what you really want, right? And it's better just to strike out. If you strike out, who cares? Okay, it happens. Whatever.
Failures. Paul Hyman was just talking about failures, spiritual failures. He said that once you realize that there was really nothing left there to seek, all the times you were like, damn, I wasted time, I guess you can not feel as bad.
You gotta grab life by the balls, man.
Assault for the hitting action, which it's not. Assault, you can verbally assault somebody and get in trouble for it. So when you make a threatening act, running up on somebody real close, that's assault. You can be charged with that. Assault and batteries when you do that, and
it's ridiculous.
For people to notice you, right? Because people have obviously like they're most of their lives documented with pictures, something with friends, family, boyfriend, girlfriend.
enough of this guy, man.
One more. Let's see.
Yeah, all right.
I think
Here's
they were
our
like
boy from the
rating somebody's
basement.
face.
Yeah. Oh God.
some accents from, you know, other countries. You know, Latin accents, they can get away with it with certain types of Latin languages, of course, like French. They might have, it's going to be based on more than that, but that's something somebody can work on. They can make their voice more comforting, an accent that women like, because of course we know a lot of women don't like some accents.
Hey, what's up,
And
Vince?
you got
Hit the
guys
link,
that have
bro.
and a Middle Asian, East Asian accent, a Nigerian accent. You know, there are some accents from, you know, other countries. You know, Latin accents, they can get away with it with certain types of Latin languages, of course, like French. They might have a good accent. Blue H didn't have that. Blue H spoke fluent French. He might be better off have that prerequisite.
I think
type
there's
of
a
you know,
lot
that
of
L type
context
of look
here
that you
most
know, it
people
defines.
don't know.
It's
Yeah. Do you think this is, Dom? Do you think this is too much, looking at people's jawline and feeling as a way of feeling secure, being insecure about your jawline and all that stuff? What do you think about that? People.
and it has a lot to do with body fat
Well,
too.
We're living in
I'm
an
sorry.
age.
Go ahead.
We're living in an age of technology, so you can see other humans in other parts of the world. It will probably stir up a lot of people's envy and jealousy. Again, it's just going to reveal one's insecurity. But as I'm hearing these gentlemen talking without a woman on platform, it's kind of moronic at that point. But it would be.
Hey, what do you mean so? How so?
Well, because
There's
they're
some
talking
guys
about the
talking.
opposite species, in this case, the opposite gender. They should get feedback if they want. If not, they're just doing nothing but assumption. I could do the same thing. I don't even need to be around anybody. But again, if you're talking to another person, and you have to look at different circumstances, if you're talking to a woman or a man in a business environment, it's your intent that counts a lot. And some people understand energy and they say, okay, well, you're not being honest. You're coming here and you're approaching me, but the only thing you want to do is fuck me. I would respect you more if you were honest about it. Opposed to playing these little games and telling me what my fucking sign is or telling me exactly I have a nice skirt on and all that. Be real men. Don't be boys pretending to be men.
I mean, but don't the women talk, would you say men and women are equal first?
You would need to hear a woman on stage. I can assume. I can make an ass out
I'm
of
asking
myself.
you, yeah.
I can make an ass out
Okay.
of myself. I've been around my mom and I've been around my wife, and I'll hear them, hence hearing other people. But I can assume, no different. I can assume what it would be to be a dark-skinned man, 6'3".
Yeah.
That's a game that I can
guess you're
play
not,
with.
right?
No, I'm not. But I can make
Okay.
that assumption. Just because I hung around with a lot of my guys when I played hoops, they were that tall, doesn't mean I'm them. Again, this
Yeah.
is where guys forget. Stay in your fucking lane.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm saying, and those guys are talking about some kind of weird things, but like they're talking amongst men, and women talk about men when they're alone.
That's right.
So-
But is it constructive?
Probably not. A lot of times it's probably gossipy.
There you
Right?
go. So, at
Yeah.
that point, and it becomes a bitch fest or whatever. It becomes
Yeah.
As much as guys want to think women bitch and complain, fucking guys bitch way more than women do. And I've been around both. And I'm like, okay, guys, so what are you guys complaining about? I don't like my wife. Oh, okay, so you don't like your wife. Why don't you like your wife? It's like your job. The only difference is you're getting paid with your job. Your wife probably does way more than you'll ever fucking do. Why don't you leave her? I don't got enough balls. And then shut the fuck up.
Damn.
Yeah.
Now, Bongs and stuff says, would Machiavelli, the philosopher, would disagree with the idea of being straightforward? Yes, he was about perception over reality.
Okay, well, so
More
again,
or
we're
less.
quoting other people that none of us here have ever met, and that could easily been reversed. You got to go inwards on that. You got to say, okay,
I mean,
how
but
does that?
we were able to read some of their books, though.
Well, you're reading. Go ahead, sir.
To
I
be
was saying we read
fair,
their books, yeah.
Machiavelli was only talking about if you're a king, how to stay a king and
There you
rule
go.
over the people.
There
So
you go.
Machiavelli wasn't about dating; he was about controlling a country.
That's right.
It's
Put
a
him in fear.
completely different dynamic. Now, I mean, if you're rich and powerful, you could use fear and powerful dynamics on the opposite sex.
But like anything, Chef, if you read something, I don't care if it's Socrates, Jesus Christ, Muhammad, even though those two characters never wrote nothing because they understood what the written work does, you should take that information, go inwards and say, how does that serve me? Quoting other people is fucking moronic. How does that serve? Did your forefathers remember who they were? No. So when they say love thy neighbor, does it matter if Jesus came out of Jesus' mouth or it came out of Hitler's mouth?
I
Well-
tend to agree with in terms of like using your past experiences. Quotes are just basically they should be just used to either
Motivate or
inspire,
recalibrate.
motivate.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm with
yeah.
you. I'm with you.
Yeah.
But name using, how does that serve? I hear a lot of people talking about being a Christian or a Muslim. I said, okay, so why did Muhammad had to be peace upon him? Why did he have to go into a state of silence when Gabriel? And even that, I'm assuming, was there an archangel named Gabriel that was talking to him, or is it something that was written in the book? How can we confirm that?
I mean, either way, you can still get value out of it.
Yes, you can.
Whether it was a real person or not, or just a story.
You can, Gabe, but a lot of people cult up with those. Oh, I'm a Christian. Okay, whatever.
Mhm.
I believe in the Constitution. Okay, so what does it mean when they say we the people? They're not talking about you, by the way, when they say that shit.
Yeah, that's their trip. That's their trip. Yeah, definitely. This is what does somebody say? I talk to everybody I meet, even random strangers. Okay.
Whoa.
That's
Well,
good.
what the hell is going
Is
on?
that
with
normal?
this room? I don't
Yeah.
even know.
Yeah. There's no crime in being friendly. Who said there was? Who said there was? Eric, by the way, so NPC awards, something that we have fun with over here. This is all about perception too, right? This is the second annual NPC awards. The voting started a week ago for streamer audience choice live streamer of the year. So it says get ready. We're saying get ready, Panelverse. This year you hold the power. For the first time ever, the audience decides who will be crowned the 2025 NPC live streamer of the year. And over the next 8 weeks now, we're gonna have voting from across the 6 Panelverse sectors about who's the supreme in each one of those sectors. And the 6 sectors are the debate sector, where logic meets chaos, the spiritual educator sector, where knowledge and energy collide, the streamaholic sector, where just the gossip and the tea flows, the Vegas sector, that's what we're doing right now, the Vegas sector, like Mel Pandora, Resto Chesto, Marathon Kev, and Resla are competing on audience choice to see who can win that. And then whoever wins that will move on to the tournament. And then the winner will be announced on January 3rd at 9 p.m. at the NPC Awards, right? For Streamer of the Year, Audience Choice, right? There's also the barbershop sector and then also the Degeneration X sector. So we're having fun with that. Get your votes in. Right now, I put in the last vote, Hurricane Ruby won for the Streamaholics Anonymous sector. So, yeah, check out our post right here. And you can get your vote on. Thanks, Markella, for reminding me. Get your vote on. Okay, so back to this stuff. Okay, yeah, it's just me and you, Shift. But the shit's funny though. The black pill, red pill stuff. Because Lindsay, I guess you want to be up to speed. What we started talking about. What I started talking about beginning with the red pill. How people like to argue about the red pill. When they hear the term, they think it's all about angry guys ranting and whatnot, which it is a lot. There is a lot of that online anyway. But at its core, the red pill isn't supposed to be hate. It's supposed to be awareness. And and more specifically, it kind of hips you to red flags. And it definitely talks about the idea of how men and women are different. Not for better or worse, but just different. And like I said, the red flags. And it's not just red flags in dating, but it's also in red flags in society and in yourself personally, right? That's what the red pill is. Like we got it from Matrix, right? The red and the blue pill. Blue pill is you're asleep. You're normie, right? Red pill is you're highly conscious and you're awake to the traps of what's going on so you can move accordingly and take advantage of what's laid out in front of you, right? So red pill is basically seeing things for what it truly is at its core. What do you think about that, Shift?
I think it was in the early days. I think it was a good place for men to just talk about issues and just like it provides solutions.
Right.
But nowadays, unfortunately, whenever it gets mainstream, the whole message and kind of the ideas in the movement got squandered away, and basically has turned into like it's all about who can get the most money with their cult members, essentially,
Right.
and just fall into rhetoric, So it's
Exactly.
just and it lost its original message. So now men now go into these other forums, and they go even darker than that, where they haven't snapped out of their rage. It turns into despair, depression, basically down to black hole, because the black pill is like super analytical for no reason. When humans don't behave analytically, humans don't behave logically, and that's what the black pill fails to understand. And those guys like rating chins and like facial dynamics like a plastic surgeon, you got issues, man. You got issues. Get
That's
some
extreme
help.
for the red pill. I mean, what do you call it? The black pill, right?
Yeah, and
Extreme version of it.
And the thing is, that guy, the guy MD, he's pushing for guys like, look, this is don't you tell me that the guy that got the plastic surgery looks so much better, right? But not everyone's fit for plastic surgery. You cannot recommend that to everybody. People have to go through psychological tests for that. Extreme solutions. Some guys are breaking their legs just to grow 2 inches, and they could the risk is like they could never walk again. Why would you do that to yourself? Only, you know what I'm saying? It's like this is when you go when logic combined with despair, it goes into a different level of like stupidity.
What's wrong with rating chins though? Come on, man, and cheekbones and stuff. Look at this.
Only
Check it out.
look, if you're not a plastic surgeon, man, you get
men.
Oh my
correctly.
God, Jeremy
The guy-
Meeks again.
Other thing in these pictures as well. There's nothing that the guy on the right can do. There's no word that he can say.
What is he?
The
Watching
guys
him
on the
have-
left and middle
fucking or something? Watch him fuck
can
or
say anything
something?
they want. And we notice here the gonial angle. So that's another thing in these pictures. The more
Holy
perpendicular it is to the floor, like we see the guy on the left, his is at a very that's almost at like we could say almost like a 180-degree angle. I think it would be.
Damn, yeah, he got his ruler out. Yeah. What are you doing? What's up? We got somebody here.
What the hell are you talking about?
What's up, man?
What's good? How you guys doing?
What's up, man? Good, man. Good to have you. We're talking about the red pill. The red pill. The red pill was right. Is the name of the topic, and changed my mind. Subtopic, yeah. And we started off by talking about the red pill, how it started. It's not just what it is today about male-female sexual dynamics. It was a broader thing to awaken people to what's really going on in reality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's what when I say that what's really going on, that's what I truly mean. What is the reality? The exact, the realistic reality. What's going on?
I would say my father's red pill, because he put me on reality early in my teens. Like, yeah, son, most women are hoes, and don't give all of your heart to women. Even though my mom was like sitting around the corner, and she's like, she's like, yeah, she didn't even deny it. She's like, yeah, your father's talking sense. Even my uncle's like, he got burnt along when he was a teenager and in his 20s. And he's like, yeah, don't give like maybe 5% of your heart to women.
Oh, not gonorrhea. Gonorrhea. You said he got burnt. I thought you meant literally.
No, none of that. No, sir. No, oh no. Good heavens.
But he could though.
He would
if
be
you do
disowned
give
from
your
the
heart to
family.
women.
No.
Oh God.
No, he's like, he gave himself too much for the female attention. Like he sacrificed his own dignity for another woman. And he's like, yeah, Vanta, as your uncle, just maybe give like 5% and see where it goes. But don't put your whole manhood and dignity for one chick. Don't do that.
That's what's the good part about the red pill is like lead by action. You know, you should have hobbies.
Yep.
Yes.
That gets you excited, and she sees
Right.
you doing those hobbies, right?
Yeah.
And you're,
Yeah,
and
because
you're
that's so
serious
true, man.
about
Like,
it.
that's so true. Like even if like most men nowadays, they're not even that active with their hobbies. Like for instance, they'll watch football. This is how much a woman it's into her man and is easily swayed and imprinted. Like my cousin, she grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area with me, right? She married someone that was originally from Dallas, Fort Worth area, Texas, and she was always like a Niner fan. And as soon as she got married, now she's a diehard Cowboys fan.
God.
You know, and that's just off a hobby, non-active hobby. Let alone So this is why it's important for us men to be all about self-development, I would think, and getting our shit together, because that inspires our wife, which inspires our children, and which inspires our community.
But you know, also women love to test whether you really love it or not, right? It's like, why do you do this, right? And it's just because you love it. That's the answer. If you say anything more than that, then you know it's already a farce. You know.
Yeah. I saw that with my own, my own parents. Like, both my parents worked. Mom would come home earlier than my father, so her and the nanny would sort out the dinner and the stuff. By the time my father comes home,
nanny.
Yeah, we had a nanny. Yeah, yes, I was a silver spoon kid. Come on, man, allow me. When my dad,
I'm happy for you.
I'm not flexing. It's not a flex. Don't worry. But when my dad came over, it was like, everybody was ready to have some, dinner, and then what would happen is he would go take a nap. And she would go to her sister's house, and she'd be like, you know what? When your father wakes up, tell him I went to my sister's house, and he can pick me up later on from her place at such and such. So they had a system going on where it's kind of functional. They weren't in each other's faces 24/7. The only time they used to hang out was when it was a weekend, and they'd take me and my sister out to the park or to the mall or whatever, where it becomes a family night. But in the middle of the week after work, it's like, I'm gonna do my thing, you do your thing. So he'll wake up and go chill with his boys, and then when he leaves the boys, he goes picks up my mom from her sisters. They come home together, and now it's bedtime. Done. There was a system. There was a routine. So and that doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't exist in this current timeline. I'm like, damn.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. Now everybody's in each other's faces. They live together. You have to hang out with each other. Like, I don't think husband and wife should hang out together 24/7 or girlfriend boyfriends 24/7. It's weird. It's like, let me do my thing, you do your thing, but we can do certain things at certain time. Just get off my face for a little bit. Stay away. Is that wrong to say, Gabe?
No, I think that's logical, man.
Yeah.
I think that's healthy, or else you're gonna develop cabin fever, right?
Thank you. That's the term. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's comfort test and then there's shit test. Let me think what you guys think about this situation. This is from Ryan Stone. I used to listen to a lot of his comment.
I'll say
about red pill, long-term relationship and marriage stuff.
I want to quit my job. An unemployed husband told me not to quit and then got angry because I asked him to look for work.
That's what I like about the married red pill, because they actually have like testimonies. And then instead of like gossiping or doing like YouTube weird drama, they talk about actual situations where people can learn from if we have the right eyes. What is a comfort test?
There's a world out there who will help this girl if she wants it, and she doesn't. So I think we can spend a few minutes in a single place on the internet to look at it from a man's self-interest. And I'm going to blow your mind later on. My husband's 39 and has been out of work for 5 to 6 years and has only worked a couple of casual jobs.
Well, that's very bad. 5 to 6 years. Sounds like someone we know, huh? Damn, that's just crazy. Yeah. Woo.
The longest one lasting a couple months about 2 years ago. Every now and then he does some housework, but a majority of the time he sits in the lounge room and plays video games or watches TV. Since he lost his job, I, 34, have been the breadwinner. I've tried my darndest to keep us afloat, and after so many...
No, that's never gonna work. I won't say never. That's not. I'll say I wouldn't want that situation. I don't know about you guys.
Gabe, it definitely sounds like someone we know, and let's see if they will listen. Listen to the fucking solution.
Let's go.
Years of no real financial support from him until he received a payment this year. I feel like I've been starting to burn out. I hate my current job to the point where...
Yeah, because you don't even give her a chance to be in. You want to talk about divine feminine and all that. You don't give her a chance to be in normal feminine. Let alone divine, right. If she's taking on all the risk, doing all the manly stuff and whatnot.
You let your women be the breadwinner. I mean, think about it. Like, that's such a sad state of affair for a man.
And vice versa too. I remember, like, my mother used to say, "I'm seeing too many men pushing prams in the streets, and they're not working." I'm like, "Yeah, because their house husband." He's like, "That's sick." Yeah. Like my mom literally said, "That is sick."
It is. Yeah. Now, if you're
no
like
man
Stephen King
pushing prams in the middle of the day. Yeah.
Right. Unless I say, well, even if you're like a whatchamacallit, like writer or like YouTuber, and you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, right? Even then, you need someone to take care of the baby and push the TAM or the stroller, right? While you work at home.
Yeah, I would hire. I swear I would hire a nanny. I'm like, here,
a nanny. There you go.
Yeah, Olga from Poland. Please go for a walk, my child.
Yeah, because to be fair, that's a full-time job, taking care of the baby or the little kid. And if you can't do it, whether you're a man or a female, and work at the same time, you know what I mean? I get it. Like single parents do that, but why do that when you have two parents?
Thought about driving myself into a tree on the way to work.
Oh shit!
Nearly every shift.
Did you hear that?
I feel short from him until he received a payment.
You guys, men out there, this is how fucked up you're making your partner by making her taking all the responsibility. Listen to how casually she said she wants to kill herself.
Here, I feel like I've been starting to burn out. I hate my current job to the point where I've thought about driving myself into a tree on the way to work.
Jesus.
Wow.
Nearly every shift, and I feel like I'm going to snap any day now. I wrote up a resignation letter after my shift today, and I'm contemplating handing it to my boss on the last shift this week. I brought this up with my husband, and he said, "You better not hand in that letter." I asked him why, and told him I'm almost ready to have a mental snap at work, and that I really hate this job.
Wow. And Dom, you said women have worked in every... Yeah, we never said they haven't. We're just saying, at least I'm going to speak for everyone right now. Correct me if I'm wrong, boys. Like, we don't want our woman to work if she doesn't have to. You know what I mean? Her job is taking care of the children in the house right now.
Exactly.
Now, if she wants to work, hey, I mean, yeah. And then you guys work it out for sure. However, we ain't doing that over here with me. I know what you guys.
But even throughout the ages, when men worked, away from the home, women used to actually work, like maybe like handle the business, like be like
Oh yeah,
take over business, or just do something around the house, and even gathering, selling stuff, but not working like a goddamn like a corporate machine, like a robot. That's unhealthy.
Mm-hmm.
It's unnatural for a woman to move like that. Yeah. And don't get me started on the goddamn suit. I don't like seeing women in a whole pants, and it's like ugly. Like, ugh, that's a man.
You would like to see you like to see them in the yoga pants? You said?
No, that's even worse. That's a hoe. I want to see women being divine feminine in a sundress, like a proper dress.
I see.
Flowing around proper.
I see. Mm-hmm.
He told me that I need to have a job lined up before I quit. I said that maybe he needed to start looking for a job as well. Then he got angry at me and told me I didn't care about his dreams at all.
What's his dream?
Dream is to write music and basically be a one-man band and post his works on YouTube.
His dream shift. His dream is to make AI music.
That's my current goal right now. I'm 37. I want to be like that
guy. Holy shit! I hope you don't have a
I
wife.
just want to write songs in No. I'm still single. I'm still single. But I'm saying that's my goal. Like I'll write some lyrics and then put it on the AI. Hopefully we'll come back. But that's my goal, Gabe. Like I just want to chill, write some lyrics on my phone, drop in AI, program and just make some money off some.
Oh yeah, that's
AI
cool.
program.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. Yeah, but
And then go on
but
again.
if you had
Say,
a
yeah,
family, would
I'm
you
an
would you
AI
risk it
artist.
all? Would you risk it all for if you had your family? Yeah.
No.
Gives it all.
Family, hell no.
His current dream is to write music and basically be a one-man band and post his works on YouTube. I scolded him, saying he's had years to work on his dreams and I'm sick of all of it. I could feel myself becoming quickly enraged as the conversation heated up, so I walked away to cool off. I know that he will now stonewall me for a day or two because this isn't the first time I asked him to look for work, and he did the same thing to me last time. I do feel like my husband and I need to go to a marriage counselor, but he believes that counseling or psychology is a waste of time or money. I know he would refuse to seek any outside help at all as he's stubborn with his beliefs.
Do you think it's a waste of time? Marriage marriage counseling and all that stuff?
Yeah, I do. You know what? Gabe? Back in the day.
What is that?
We had communities, we had elders, we had, elder statesmen, grandma, grandfather, who can, what do you call it, counsel both couples, like the family come together, they discuss what's the issue, and we can.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, that happens in my community, as an African, but I don't know if that happens.
It's almost every community, whether Europe, every continent, ancient ancestors or whatnot. Yeah.
Even the UK. Like I live in the UK. Even I spoke to my English friends. Like, that's how we used to move back in the day.
That's what I mean. In Europe, even.
Yeah. Like you go to an elder and you decide, like, what's the situation? Can you reconcile? Can you try again? If it's going to be divorce, like the reason why people pay dowry, Gabe, the dowry is like an insurance, like for divorce in case.
Right.
It's a backup. Yeah, but unfortunately now it's like marriage counseling. I think counseling just adds more problems and more confusion to both.
Yeah, parties. because a lot sometimes like the marriage counselor it'll seem like a gang up on one of the parties, either the man or the woman, right? And so it depends on the effort you put. That's marriage in general, man. That's what makes marriage strong. You both have to put in the work. Yeah.
Definitely, and that's the whole point of, like, when you had an elder or family come together, like they want the family to
remind you.
Yeah, like, but by the way, Gabe, marriage back in the day, marriage is not between man and woman. Marriage is between family and finances.
Oh, that's
you bring
right.
your finance, and it's like two communities come together to become one strong community against the outsider.
Husbandry.
Like people don't think of like that anymore. Now it's like, oh yeah, romance. I love him. Yes, I love at first sight. I don't believe in that whole bullshit. That's some Shakespeare battle. I don't believe that.
It doesn't mean that the arranged marriages do not have true love. They grow to love each other,
and that's why they're mostly successful, like long term.
Yeah,
they're way better. Yeah. I mean, even till this day, like I get calls from my parents like, "Oh, we have a nice, lovely lady for you." I'm like, yeah. Once I'm ready, I'll do it. Until then, I just need to work on my mindset, my money, and just achieve certain things. Then I'll give you a call. But I don't believe in, oh yeah, I met this girl, love at first sight, because I've seen it too many times. And guess what, Gabe? Divorce.
Yeah, it could be quick, man. It'd be quick. You have something
I
else
think
behind
I know we can't go back to our old system, but I wish we can go back to the arranged marriage system in the Western world.
Maybe you can have that mindset for yourself when you're choosing your mate, Venta. You know what I mean?
I mean,
like because it's between you and that woman nowadays. So if you have that mindset, yeah. Like
and the thing is, people think, oh yeah, they're gonna bring you a woman, and you have to marry her right there and then. No, you get an opportunity to go out for like a couple of dates, test out the waters,
for
get
sure.
a vibe. Yeah, if it doesn't work out, you have the right to say, you know what, that's not for me. And just say, you know what, nope.
Yeah.
Pull out.
We got married relatively quick after probably 6 months. We got married, my wife and I, after dating, and we had that man right there in the middle.
Oh, is that you guys? Okay, yeah. Oh, nice.
That's right here. Yeah.
Oh, God bless, man. As long as it works, bro. There's nothing systematic. There's no 100 proven formula. If it works, it works. Yeah.
Exactly. And like you're saying, says God bless misogyny. What do you mean by that? God bless misogyny. Misogyny is women hatred.
No, misogyny has, just like racism and all this Nazi blah blah. It has been reduced to nothing. Like, when I tell people, like I prefer traditionalism. I prefer traditional marriage. I'll go earn, and I prefer her to raise the children, or like I said earlier, I'm pro. Probably if a young man can't find a girlfriend or whatever, let him ask his parents to set them up on a date with another family's daughter, for example. Like families come together, arrange dating, not even marriage, dating. And I had so much backlash. We're like, oh, you're a misogynist. You're a shit. I'm like, you know what? Okay, so be it. So I fully accepted the term misogynist.
Yeah.
That's, you know,
There you go.
if that's misogyny, then God bless misogyny. Yeah.
Look at me. Mim says traditional marriage for the win. Yeah, there we go. All right.
There you go. See, Mimsy gets
You got it.
Come on.
Let's go.
And I think young Zoomers are getting it. Like hopefully go back to the old system.
Back off the other way that hasn't been working. That blue pill simp way.
I feel mentally exhausted and I'm so over everything. I feel like I'm between a rock and a hard place and I just don't know what to do anymore.
Mentally exhausted, that's a bad place to be for a man or a woman.
I go to my family or friends about this because I feel ashamed of letting things get this bad. It's easier for me to get advice from people here. Any advice or thoughts would be greatly appreciated. So a lot of people are looking at this like a set of values. Now, it doesn't matter if you're an urban feminist working for a newspaper, the Orange Man Bad Times. I don't care if you're a conservative mom who loves shotguns. Every woman has an instinctive need for her man to be better than her. It's Briffault's law. The woman decides the conditions for the animal relationship, and where there is no value, there is no relationship.
Right. And if you're just playing video games all day and doing your music or whatever without any results or making money, she's not going to see value. Shadow Buddha says, Gabe, I think Vanta is the first man besides myself to ask you actual dating advice in the last year and a half in the Panelverse as a married man of 12 years. Yeah, for sure. That's right, man. Vanta's the man, bro. Both of you guys. Like, he's very intelligent.
I'm being honest. Like, I don't come here with agenda. I'm just trying to observe and see what people, like where people are at. Like, Gabe is married with a kid, so be it.
Yeah, that's why you're a man of knowledge, man. Close to God.
I try to be, man. I try to.
Yeah, you are.
Most people, I know you're looking at this and you're thinking to yourself that she should leave him, he's useless and he's a bum, but she hasn't.
Yeah, because she still sees potential in him. Just like if a woman a divorce attorney will say, if you're a woman, if you're a man, if she's arguing with you about the marriage, that means she still wants it to get better. And sometimes instead of just making fun of her, rolling your eyes, maybe you should listen if you do want to keep the marriage. You know what I mean? There's a reason why. Because if she doesn't care, she's not even going to argue about trying to make the marriage better.
That's one thing my father told me. Like, you don't have to get physically violent. You don't have to shout anything. Just let her talk. Let her babble about
exactly
until she gets tired. Until she gets tired. And you know what? It worked. Every time I've been in a relationship, you know, when things get too hot, I just listen and just sit back. I just become like a goddamn stone sitting there. I'm like, okay. And she's like, you know what?
Maybe.
I just want people to understand me. I'm like, yes, I'm trying to understand you. Goddamn.
Try to understand. Yeah, we're trying to understand, babe. Yeah. We think about this analogy. It says, Bong Stuff says, asking someone married is like asking a lottery winner for stock trading advice. Well, I mean, maybe if you like went in for love and you ended up with a good marriage, that's like a lottery winner. But if you're like what Vanta says, you have the mentality of looking at it like a business or a power couple in mind. No, it's not. It's not a lottery. You're not a lottery winner. You are a forecaster, right? You're an advanced forecaster in relationships and whatnot.
And there is value here. Now, maybe he's a hot gigolo.
Exactly,
maybe
testing it.
There's no single guys in her city, and this is the best she can do. Maybe she's so ego invested in her good judgment that she refuses to move on to greener pastures. Maybe she's super comfortable in that caloric way that women get, and then she has zero other options. Who knows? And if you're the guy watching this who wants to learn something, who cares? So there's a world out there who will help this girl if she wants it, and she doesn't. So I think we can spend a few minutes in a single place on the internet to look at it from a man's self-interest. And I'm going to blow your mind later on with this. We're going to show you why the relationship advice you hear is absolute garbage and how simple, red-pilled concepts can work wonders on relationships. having said all that, here's a few things to consider. 6 years of unemployment and she hasn't left. Is this really to be taken at face value for this post, or is it just a vent? Like, you better not hand in that letter. Now, of all the things I know about women, the one thing I can say, from Madonna to whore, from thought to tot, from child to grandma, girls hate the word no. They hate it with the fire of 1,000 suns. They hate it more than anything ever constructed by man, nature, or beast. And this is the crux of it, and this is the part that everybody missed.
Okay. All right. Oh, by the way, what's up, Browns boy legend? He said when Lindsey Smith gets back, tell her I know about her asking Landry to pretend she sent him news so she could garner attention for online LARP. YouTube actor Lindsey Smith. Gotcha. Damn, Browns boy. I don't know about that, but Browns boy is a legend. He usually has his ears straight.
This isn't a woman throwing out her life story and asking what to do. This is a woman who's had a hard couple weeks at work, who was begging for comfort, and instead was told no. She's established she's not the type of girl to leave for being a plow horse. She's established that she's the lioness. She'll hunt the water buffalo, and he's there in case some tigers and shit decide to take her territory.
So he's not even a house husband. Well, yeah, house husband, house whatever.
Yeah.
Security or whatever.
House toy, house security.
Walking dildo.
Yeah, you know what I was gonna say? House dildo. There you go.
Yeah.
And putting aside
Comfort
whatever
test.
you or I may feel about a guy who's decided to be unemployed and have his wife take care of him for 5-6 years, know that guys bring
What's up,
two
Logic?
things into a relationship: the tingle of dopamine and the comfort of serotonin. And
Did he say being a house husband for 6 years? Just while she's the breadwinner for 6 years.
Yes.
Yeah, I would have gone mad. I would have gone psycho.
Is it him? Some people can get locked into. We're living in a. Well, today there's a Taurus moon, right? I'll tell you about astrology real quick. They say whatever I'll say whatever the moon sign is in. That's the vibe of the planet, the emotional vibe, right? And today, it's Taurus, which is kind of like a bull. A bull can be lazy, likes to lounge on luxurious things. So I can see if someone has that vibe about them, they like to relax at home.
My neck, bro, you're coming for my neck. I'm a Taurus. Well, you say I'm lazy.
No.
Actually,
I
you're
said
right.
you can
You're
be
right,
though
you're
if you want to be, right? But
Not a low-key,
you could, right,
I'm
Vanta? Am I
lazy.
lying?
I'm
If you
lazy. I
want.
love luxury. If I want,
Yes.
if I want.
Now on the other side of the seesaw, Tauruses are some of the hardest workers, most steadfast, diligent people. And once they get started, it's hard to stop them. They're the producers of the zodiac, right? They produce.
Yes, we are. With OG, we started it. We started the zodiac system.
You're the second on the list. There's Aries and then Taurus. So you're up there from the beginning. So what I'm saying is, I could see someone like a Taurus who likes to lounge or someone like a Cancer who's like a homebody and likes to be cozy, could be stuck in this rut of being a house husband for 6. Be okay with that, but. My Scorpio nature and Leo nature in my chart would be like, nah, man, this is embarrassing. I have pride, like a lion. I can't do it, even though it's comfortable.
Oxytocin.
Yeah, you're right.
She
right.
literally
I don't believe
doesn't
it's
need a man.
astrology, but I'm noticing a pattern, Gabe, real quick. I'm noticing a pattern because
Pattern. That's all we're doing with astrology is pattern. I'm glad you recognize
I
that.
think
It's just patterns.
Scorpios are the most diabolical, hardworking, but also like if they don't F with you, they don't F with you anymore. It's like quick. It's like hot and cold with them. God.
Exactly.
You have to keep
That's
up
what we're
with it.
witnessing
Keep up or
right
you're
now.
behind.
That's what we're witnessing right now. Yeah, because you were on panel when I was having beef with somebody, pretty big beef in terms of the panel verse. I don't even think you knew what was going on, but that shit was going on, and for the most part, I'm over it now. Like you said, but when it was on, bro. But,
Right.
but now it's not. But now I'm cool. Look,
Hot and cold.
Hot and cold. There you go. No middle ground.
Know that guys
Shout out to the French Prince coffee.
bring two things into a relationship: the tingle of dopamine and the comfort of serotonin and oxytocin. She literally doesn't need a man to pay the bills. She's been doing it for years. Him getting a job isn't what would save this relationship. And by save, I don't mean save in the traditional way, because I think it needs tweaking. So I'm aware this guy sounds like he needs a vision in his life, half-assed his goals. Like, I get it, and we could work on that. That's a separate issue, though, for now. Separate topic, separate video. Right now, I'm discussing the relationship strategies on the specific situation with dynamics in play as they are. I'm making the assumption that he makes her tingle, since, according to her, he doesn't offer anything comfortable. And, again, Briffault's law. The woman decides conditions of the relationship, and when there's no value for her, there's no relationship. If he's
facts, I agree to that, right?
But I have a counter though, Gabe. If this man is lounging about, why don't she inspire him and push him? Like, what is she doing exactly to push him to elevate? Or does she want him to be like this little, invalid baby just laying around?
There's
for her own power play.
Yeah, it could be because this woman, even though she said she hates her job and all that, she probably could. There are women out there, like corporate women that corporate American women or British women who are okay with having a man that's okay with being like either having a part-time job or being a straight up house husband, just knowing that they have someone when they come home all the time, But
at least like
not healthy, I don't think.
I think inspiring the man, inspire them, like say, baby, let me help you out with because I've had female cousins when I was jobless. I had female cousins on my sister like, give me a CV, I'll pass it around and help you out get a job. She same thing for her husband. If she works in like a big higher position, corporate, she knows people and she can give me a CV and let me see what I can do with it. And just spread it out to help him get a new job.
Yeah,
what's wrong with that?
That'd be motivating, right? That'd be motivating.
Yeah,
and I guess the biggest motivation would be for just her to quit her job and like we don't have any money. Someone's gonna have to work for sure now. Now you have to get a job.
Okay. But I'm saying if I'm jobless and she knows I'm jobless, if she's a true loving girlfriend / wife. She would look at me and say, this man, he's down on his luck. She would tell me, give me your CV and just pass it on. And she'll at least try to give me a job. While I'm still looking for a job for myself, she would actually take the load off. You see what I'm saying? Take the load off. While I'm, But for her to just observe the husband doing nothing, I think that's some bullshit right there. Watching the man deteriorate.
Yeah,
am I talking alien game?
I think it's more. I think it's if there's a competition, it's more bullshit. His bullshit, but she's involved in it. She's enabling it, which is hurting herself.
That's my point.
The laziness.
Exactly. That's my point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's enabling his laziness. She should help him, take initiative, and say, you know what, boy, I'm going to help you to get back on your feet. Or else, I think she's doing a power play where she wants to see him down on his luck, and she's the breadwinner, so she can be the one on top and say, "You know what? I'm running shit."
That's what I was telling you about. Like that's that situation. I've seen that situation, However, it's not sustainable. After 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, it gets to be too much. Either the man leaves or she's done. Either way. Another thing is too, like she. Under the Capricorn lit, where Capricorns are very structured and about results, they're like, hey, like, if she's a Capricorn, she'd be like, man, I invested so much time, I ain't gonna waste it now. So, you know what I mean? Like, give him another chance.
The fact that you said that, it makes me believe astrology even more. I have a cousin who's a Capricorn, and this heifer, she's a goddamn Terminator. She got a degree in accounting. She has no. Bro, this girl, she has health problems, and she's still like a machine. I'm doing X, Y, Z. I'm like, God damn, these Capricorns are like a machine. You're right, bro.
Oh yeah, money makers, man. Like Taurus kind of.
I mean, I'm still lazy though. I like being lazy when I have the chance.
When you have the chance, but when you know you have to get after it. When you do,
When the rent comes in, I'm like, oh shit, step up.
Exactly.
Not giving him any
You're
comfort,
fine.
at least in this situation. Chances are, dopamine wise, he's doing well. You can take for that whatever values you want.
I like being a matador with a Taurus. Okay.
And here's the problem. His lifestyle hasn't bothered her too much before. She's had a couple fights about it. He handles it very badly, and then she goes back to everything normal. Again, more frustrated, less comfortable than before. And this will be what ends up breaking up the relationship over time if it happens. But in this case, it didn't bother her until a particularly hard week at work, and then her threatening to leave when she got home. So for those of you who have some experience in relationships, you'll know that girls love to talk. You'll also know that they love to not take action. So when somebody's girl comes at you with a brutal feeling from a brutal time at work, she's not asking you whether she should leave or not. She's asking for comfort. She's asking for her feelings to be validated. She's asking for somebody to tell her that her feelings are real and they're right. Address the feelings, not the conversation, because girls are driven by how the world makes them feel. And if you doubt it, ask yourself why this is the event that caused her to see no more value in the relationship. 6 years and he hasn't brought him the bacon except
You
for...
said in general, girls are more about their feelings, he said? I see.
Address the feelings, not the conversation, because girls...
Address the feelings, her feeling, how she felt. That's smart.
Yeah.
I've seen that play out, yeah.
Girls are driven by
But that's
how the
why
world
that's
makes
why
them
men
feel.
disengage, Dave. Disengage and just let them rage out, and eventually the feelings will come out after the whole battle. Yeah.
Yes. Good point, Banta.
And if you doubt it, ask yourself why this is the event that caused her to see no more value in the relationship. 6 years and he hasn't brought home the bacon except for a couple times, yet her boss pisses her off and now it's divorce time? Ask yourself how this is any different than your girl coming home and complaining about her mother or her boss or her coworker who don't know what they're doing, or any number of complaints that your girl gives you throughout the day. So if you learn nothing else from this video, and I'm assuming you will, but if you don't, learn this. You are not your job. You are not your khakis. You're the all singing, all dancing. Anyways, seriously, fix her feelings, don't fix the situation. That matters more.
Fix the feelings, don't fix the situation. This comments from Moose. Grid One Motorboats. Sometimes some women say stupid stuff. You just gotta tell them to shut up. Yeah.
Sometimes, exactly.
Sometimes you do. Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. But what worked for me was like a lot of times you just let them babble too much, and they get tired themselves.
Right. Let them ruminate for a little bit, but just don't make it a habit all the time. Ryan Stone is a proponent of manufactured drama. When things would be going cool, he figures that women need emotional outbursts. So when things are going cool for a while, he'll make up something, say like, "Oh, those pants are hella ugly. Why are you wearing them?" When even they're fat, just to start a little fight that he can put out, that they can get over quick, and then after that they're cool. But it's not like a big ass, you know what I mean? A big ass.
Right. Yeah. There's like it's like miniature, like a small,
fire
battle, and then there's the big fire.
Exactly.
Small fire, big fire.
It's how more than how good of a man you are, it matters more than anything, really. If a girl feels dopamine already, and if you're good in bed, you have pre-selection, look good, act aloof, she's got a roof over her head, food on the table, all those attractive triggers in place, well, the only part you're missing then is occasional comfort. So we don't need it.
This man wants... You can't be responsible for her feelings. No, I agree. This guy in the video wants me to validate her feelings for that. He does. And I think, as seen as a married man, 12 years, you can validate her feelings, but it doesn't mean that you have to enable her to shitty behavior because of those feelings. You can acknowledge them for sure, right? Just because you acknowledge something doesn't mean you co-sign on it, right?
Yeah, I think I get what Grid is saying, but like valid. I don't think anyone's gonna validate. You just have to observe and just see what happens after when she exposes her feelings, and then it's up to you if you wanna.
Sometimes she'll be better.
Like I say, validate or reject it. It's up to you. You have the choice.
Yeah. And either way, when she expresses it, she'll feel better after.
Right.
right?
Right.
After a while.
And it's up to you how to deal with it. You want to have a sit down proper, or just walk away and say, you know, this is too much. Peace out.
Yeah. When he says F that, I'm thinking I put the F right by the milkers. I was like, is that an F cup? Just curious.
When we're doing one-night stands or having a friend with benefits that comes over once a week. But once you've made the plunge into some sort of more stable relationship, it's that little bit of spice that turns this dish from a train wreck relationship where your woman vents online about a horrible job and how much of a piece of shit you are into one of the bright, wonderful centers in that shitstorm of negativity that she has to deal with. And if you're going to get a YouTube channel going, put out some damn videos, son. So on that note, that's the end of another Red Pilled Coffee episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it so far. I mean, you guys know the spiel. Fuck Files, still in Amazon bookstores.
All right, Ryan. Good luck to you, Ryan.
To Ryan.
Make milk, not war for sure. Vance, I'm about to wrap it up, brother. Yeah.
I came on for a little minute, man. I'm gonna head off to bed, but yeah, I just thought, you know, let me come up for a little bit, say some few words. But yeah, this was good, bro. Very good.
Yeah, it was fun, but I'm glad you came too, because you're definitely a brother that definitely can build on the subject, red pill, you know, just cultural, all that stuff, right?
I know, yeah, because you know, it's affecting all men of the globe. Like, you know, even me as an African from Somalia, this stuff is affecting our community too. You know, there's millennial Gen Z women. They're moving way different to our mothers of the past. So a lot of us are having these discussions about, you know, male-female relationships and stuff. So it's not only America or the Western world. It's global, bro. It's global.
It is a global thing because the Western mind is everywhere.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Western mind, even in Asia, the Western mind is here. Yep.
What they call them? What they call the dragon ladies or something? Because they act cute, right? Initially, they act cute. They're like, oh yeah.
Dragon.
But then when you marry them, they turn into dragons. They become
dragon, yeah. And then with the kids of the helicopter tiger mom.
Oh my God! Don't get. You know about Carl Jung? You know about Carl Jung, Gabe?
Carl Jung?
Carl Jung. Yeah.
He's a
weirdo. The philosopher.
No, he's not a weirdo. He's good. He's a legend. Yeah.
You know, he calls his moms. He calls them the devouring mother.
Oh shit! Mother. He probably got that from his boy Freud. Devouring, but yeah. But then again, a lot of men, they want to, under this Tony Soprano act, they want to go back into the vagina.
Yeah. Wait, was that Tony Soprano? I thought it was.
He said it more or less. He said like the men when he was on Peyote, he said the men. Oh no, a lot of us, we want to go back. The mothers are the bus that gets us to this reality, right? And,
yeah,
and a lot of us are chasing. We want to go back in there.
Yeah, because it's safety. Men
safety, but you can't do that though. She did her job already. Yeah,
and that's why, you know what? We need to have a stream about that whole Sopranos kind of mindset, like the whole theme.
Sopranos philosophy? Yes.
Yeah.
The whole theme about what in particular?
Like especially mothers and sons, and
the
also,
mothers. Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, Manta. I love it. Yeah. Let's do it.
Let me know ahead of time, man. Let me know, and I'll
send you a DM. I think I have you on Discord, so
Discord,
I will let you. Yeah. I will let you know, my friend. And it's always a pleasure, bro. You're amazing. I'm not glazing because I truly mean it. You're great. Thanks for spending time with us, Vanta.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me, and have a good week. And to the rest of the chat, whoever's listening, take care. Peace.
Oh yeah, Vanta, it's my birthday this weekend. Yep. Yay! On the 10th.
Oh, this weekend?
We're gonna have a birthday stream like on Sunday or Monday or something like that. Yeah, on the 10th. Yeah.
On the 10th. Right. Okay, I'll pull up. I'll pull up. All right, bro.
Pull up, bro. I have my boys from the Bay coming up too.
Bay.
All right.
The
Bay Area.
Peace, bro.
Peace. All right, Vanta.
Take care. Peace.
Take care, Vanta. Peace, bro. All right, so that's the great Vanta Black, and this is the legendary Gabriel Carbo Gaines. I appreciate everyone coming through. Yes, I hope everyone has a great and wonderful rest of the day. Markella says, "May peace and love be with you all." All my friends, Shadow Buddha, Shift, everybody, Sean, Chema, Edie the K, Peace, brothers. Snafu Snaps, Machine Lies, Brown's Boy, and all the homies, Neurojack. We'll see you later. It's too bad we didn't get a donation, but I appreciate the time you spent. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Shout out to Wicked. Love you, girl. Yeah. Cheers to everyone, bro. Make sure to never let your friends down. This has been The Red Pill Was Right and Changed My Mind. Love you, baby.
Thank you.